Good evening, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. This is Divya Tampi, your smart productivity coach, and a very warm welcome to you. We are a few seconds late, but here we are. Okay, and I'm very excited about today because today I get to speak about my favoriteest book. Okay, so if you're watching this live, type hashtag live in the chat box. And yes, for those of you who may be watching this later, you may type hashtag replay so I know that you watched it a little later. Okay. And I'm going to give it 10 seconds till a few more people join in so I can share with you what is this book that I'm talking about. Okay. And let me also just make sure that I have uh, my Facebook page open and I can respond to you. Super. Yeah. Thank you for being here. So let me get started. So the book that I have today that I want to talk about is this. Okay, so this is the book. It's called How Life Works by Andrew Matthews. The first time I saw it, I think it was in 2015. Okay, and I thought this looks like a kid's book. Okay, but somebody read out a passage. One of my friends, in fact, read out a passage from this book, and I was hooked. I was like, I have to have it now. And I actually bought an ebook first. And since then, I've read it multiple times. I have recommended it to multiple people. I think this is a book that every single person should read. It should, in fact, I personally believe this should become part of the curriculum in school. That's how good this book is. And let me straight away tell you a couple of things that I like about the book, even without going into the details of the book. Okay, it is a simplicity, the simplicity with which it is written, which reflects the warm, generous heart of the writer, which is Andrew Matthews. I've seen some interviews of Andrew Matthews, and it is, you can straight away see such a beautiful human being he is. And the next thing I love about this book, okay, is that this book is fully illustrated with cartoons, as you can see here. And I'll also see if I can, identify some cartoons which I'd like you to see. And the thing is, this is illustrated by him. He's the one who's actually drawn these, and it's absolutely so. The sense of humor that he's used, the simplicity and the illustration, it makes this book an absolute beautiful read. And you can read this in like it's a really tiny book, you know. So you can finish it in one sitting, like I think about a hour and a half. Yeah, if you're a comparatively fast reader, you will be done with this. Let's see how many pages is this. Like this is under 150 pages. Okay, but a fantastic read. Okay, so let me get started with why I like this book. I think the way the author has explained about the fundamentals of life, which nobody really tells us about, was an eye opener for me. And I'm going to share. I have actually identified three things that I'd like to share with you. And I think I didn't quite realize this earlier, but I got the first understanding of law of attraction from this book. Okay, I didn't even know it was law of attraction at that point of time. So let me actually read this uh, chapter which says you get what you feel. Okay, I'm going to read a small portion of this. It says thoughts and feelings have their own magnetic energy, which attracts energy of a similar nature. This is the principle that whatever you put into the universe will be reflected back to you. What this means from a practical standpoint is that we always attract into our lives whatever we think about most, believe in most strongly, expect on the deepest levels, and or imagine most vividly. Right. So this is actually a quote by Shakti Gawain. And then the author writes, I was sitting on a plane waiting to depart Hobart Airport. We were delayed by one final, rather breathless and angry looking passenger. When she saw that some guy had parked his black, heavy briefcase in the spot above her seat, she became angrier. When she discovered that there was no room for her bags anywhere in the overhead lockers, she began to look seriously disturbed. And so she sat seething for the entire flight with her bag wedged between her feet, irritated by the offending briefcase. You might guess the story from here. We landed. The owner of the briefcase stood up, reached over to retrieve it from the locker, and dropped it on her head. Bam! When you feel that, when you feel that life is against you, it is. We attract people and circumstances that match how we feel. When we feel happy, we attract positive circumstances. And when we feel upset and angry, we attract events to make us feel worse. Okay. So I think this is the first time I really, I had been working in the space of emotional intelligence, and I already believed in, you should try and find ways to feel peaceful at all times. However, I never got of, I never sort of thought of it from this angle, that by thinking a certain way, we are attracting things into our life which fits with our thoughts. So this is also the first book where I got this understanding that thoughts are things, or that everything, like you put any material thing under the microscope and you go down to the smallest cell. Okay, it's the proton, electron, whatever it is. It's actually, it comes down to, like 90% of it is vibration. So basically what that means is everything that we see around us, whether it is living things, whether it is non-living things, everything is vibration, right? So things that vibrate at a similar frequency tend to attract each other. It's as simple as that. So this was a beautiful one. So this is one of the first things that I wanted to share with you. So if you're liking what you're listening to, okay, write feel in the chat box, okay? Because we just spoke about feeling. So for those of you who just came in, here's the book that we are talking about. This is my favorite test book, okay? How Life Works by Andrew Matthews. And like I was saying before, I've recommended it to uh, and even, I used to work as an emotional intelligence coach at an earlier point of time, and I would recommend it to every person that I used to work with at that point of time as well. Okay, now the other second, let's go to the second thing. Yeah. Now the second thing was about this is also about feeling. It says, first get the feeling, right? When we grow up believing that when things get better, then I will feel better. It sounds reasonable, but it is the slow way to get results, and it is hard work. Try fixing a relationship while you feel bad about it. Try getting rich when you feel poor. Try succeeding in a job that you hate. When is it that you start to climb out of any mess? Only when you start to feel hopeful. First comes a glimmer of hope. Then perhaps you get some encouragement from a friend. You start to feel better. You read a book. You take a long walk. You feel better still. You get a little inspiration. Other people arrive to help. You are on your way. But first, you need that glimmer of hope, a little belief. Only then do things start to improve. It all happens after you begin to feel better. And this is very, very interesting. In fact, I was recently listening to somebody else say and talk about that, it is successful people are richer and more happier people are more successful and richer. Most people tend to believe that, once I become rich and once I succeed, then I will be happy. But he totally believes and uh, tells us that you first have to be happy to be successful. Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. And it's like my own mentor Siddharth Rajshekar, he says that you first have to, it's not about the results that you generate. Yes, we have goals and we are working very hard towards those goals, but the actual result that we get from that whole journey is the person that we become along the journey. Right? So people become happier people, right? And that happens. So the question is also, how do we how do we get to that point of feeling a little better to make the situation better? Because if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling upset, it's so much more easier to just stay in that space. And somewhere along this book, he talks about one of the easiest things to do is to bring your focus. Like, I think he gives an example here is, yeah, you may, one of the things personally, some of the things that I do is I practice a little bit of stillness. So I sit down, bring my attention to my breath. I try to identify exactly the feeling that I'm experiencing, and this in itself helps me, because when I identify my feeling, I have to apply the rational part of my brain, which takes away some of the energy from the emotional part of the brain, and immediately the intensity of the feeling that I'm experiencing starts to drop. Okay, so breath. So that actually calms me down, just bringing my attention to the breath. The next step, maybe to consciously start thinking about, even in this whole difficult situation, what are really tiny small things that are going well. Yeah, excuse me. So I'm basically practicing a little bit of gratitude for all the things that are going well and bringing my attention to the things that are going well, and slowly and steadily that actually helps me to come to a better place. And he also says that, when you are trying to go to a place of feeling good and happy, you can't straight away go from feeling furious and really unhappy and depressed to going happy. And you don't have to even try to do that. You can go one step at a time, right? So you can go from feeling hateful and very angry and outraged to feeling a little angry, feeling frustrated, and from frustrated you can go to a place of feeling neutral, and from neutral you can go to feeling little pleasant, and so you can slowly kind of upgrade yourself along that way. So that is the second thing. And the third thing, in fact, this was the section that somebody read out to me, and you know I was in love with this book. Okay, so can I share with you the third point that was shared with me? Write 3 in the chat box if you'd like me to share that with you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you anyways, and let me just quickly check who are the people who are commenting. And by the way, feel free to ask any questions. I'd love to, or if you want to share something, do share that in the chat box. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, and if you have something to add to this, I'd love to know that. Okay, great. So, okay, this is the section. It is called Your Heart. How often we talk about our hearts? We say someone has a big heart, a light heart, a heavy heart, a hard heart, a soft heart, a black heart, a change of heart, a broken heart, or no heart. No one ever says, I love you with all my brain. Something else. When we point to ourselves, we never point our fingers at our head. Yeah, we don't. We point to our heart. If feelings create our life experience, some logical questions arise. Does the heart emit a strong energy? Do traditional cultures recognize heart or feeling energy? Is the heart more than just a pump? Can we measure energy from the heart? Now, this question, can we measure energy from the heart? This is a question posed by a group of scientists at the Institute of Heart Math. So there is a website which is www.heartmath.com. HeartMath found that the heart produces by far the body's most powerful rhythmic electromagnetic field. This energy field is about 3 meters across and encircles the chest like a huge donut. This electromagnetic heart field is 5,000 times stronger than the field surrounding the brain. This is significant. Suddenly, the idea that how we feel shapes your destiny sounds a lot more reasonable. This was, I think, life changing for me. Not in the way that you see in movies, but this really got me thinking, right? And this is why when we connect to somebody with the heart, from the heart, then we are connected for good. Then we don't have to pretend. Then we don't have to try to be nice. We just experience a lot of joy. So these were the 3 things that I learned from this. Actually, there's so many things that I learned from this book, but these are the 3 main things that I wanted to share with you. And I'd highly, highly recommend this book, How Life Works. Yeah, by Andrew Matthews. And by the way, I am doing let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Divya Tampi. I'm a smart productivity coach, and I help working women go from 1 lakh to 10 lakh in 12 months using the smart productivity system. So, if you are somebody who is, yes, thank you so much, Jen, for that comment. Yeah, so if you are a working woman and if you are looking at, if you have big dreams and aspirations, and you would like to take that on the fast mode, join my masterclass tomorrow. It is at 11 o'clock in the morning. It is a Sunday tomorrow. And I will also share the link for that. Yeah, it's the Smart Productivity Masterclass. Okay, I hope I'm typing it right. Masterclass.com. Yes, I think I more or less typed it right. Okay, so that's Yes, I'm going to show that on the screen. Okay, so that's the link. You can use this link and join my masterclass tomorrow. Make sure that you block 90 minutes so you can. And by the way, do join my Facebook group. It's a exclusive VIP group that I have. It's called the Productivity and Performance group, where I share some exclusive content on a regular basis, and I really look forward to seeing you there. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking, is it possible for me to right now share the link of that group? I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, if not, don't worry. In fact, you can join me. Some of you are joining me through the group itself, and some of you are joining me through my profile, and some of you are joining me through YouTube. Wherever you're joining in from, thank you so much for being here. And I'll keep coming back with more content. I will have my live session tomorrow, and I'm coming back on Monday. By the way, please block your time on Monday at 8 o'clock, because I will have Shweta Samota, India's leading author coach, with me, and we'll have an interview with her and learn from her success principles, because she is not just one of the most successful people that I've come across, but also a very humble and loving person that I've come across. Okay, so I'll see you again tomorrow, and I'll be doing this again in the evening. Yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.